Well, hello, everybody. And my name is Justin Charlton-Jones. I'm one of the coaches in the No Limits community. And today I am talking to Chris Benson from Trustis. And we're talking about online reviews. We'll get into that in a lot more detail in a moment. First of all, I just want to say that Trustis are a partner of Action Coach. And in fact, they were awarded the title of Partner of the Year at our conference in October last year. So, Chris, online reviews. I'm sure that most of the people who are watching this will realize that online reviews are an important part of their marketing activity. So, I mean, how important are they?
Reviews are very important. There was a case study done last year that showed that 92% of consumers like to read online reviews before they make a purchasing decision. So 9 out of every 10 people are looking for reviews before they're deciding where they're going to spend their hard-earned money. So the reviews have never been more important than they are in today's world.
Okay, and are there, everyone, I think, rather like Hoovers, everyone defaults to Google review. But I know that Google are not the only site out there that have the facility to review businesses. Just how many are there?
Hundreds, maybe not hundreds, but there's dozens of review platforms, and lots of people get sort of hoodwinked or sidetracked into being pushed down a particular route, which I understand, but isn't necessarily the right way to go. Lots of people use sort of industry specific review platforms, which makes a lot of sense. But I think it's important, you mentioned Google reviews there. I think it's important that people understand that Google are a very big beast. They are the go-to place for people when they are doing their initial discovery searches, trying to find a business. And people will then move on to using an industry specific platform. For example, TripAdvisor, if you're looking to eat out or go away, Check a Trade or Trust a Trader or something if you're looking at somebody to build an extension on your house. But typically the place people will go first to try and find the business is Google, and then they'll use those additional review platforms to verify their decision that they're using the correct business.
Okay. And do you know what proportion of online reviews end up on Google as opposed to the other platforms that are out there?
I don't. I don't know those numbers, but I do know that Google process 8 billion searches per day, and they have around 90% dominance. I think it's somewhere between 86 and 90% sort of market share in the search engine market. So they are the people that really you need to try and keep happy, because that's where people are initially finding your business. And then the sort of percentages, I think probably not enough people collect Google reviews. I would definitely say that would be true, because people get focused on collecting these other sort of industry specific reviews, which are important, but they're probably not quite as important as collecting Google reviews.
Okay, so Google dominate the sector, but there are all these other review platforms, many of which are specific to your sector. And if people are coming through Google in their initial attempt to find you, well, that's a very leading question. How does Trustis fit into that? What's your role?
Okay, so one of the things that we do is we we display an overall number of reviews. So if you're using multiple review platforms, one of the key things that Trustis is doing for our clients is we pull together all of your reviews from any review source, and we display the overall number and the average review score from all of those review sources. And we display that number on your website, but also in your organic Google search results. So it's making you look more trusted in the eyes of your prospective customers. But it's actually showing the fair number, because if you've got 50 reviews with Google, 50 reviews with Checkatrade, and 50 reviews from somewhere else, you have 150 reviews. So that's the number really that you should be showing to your prospective customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if I'm looking for a review, you said that Google is the principal search tool that people use to find businesses. Does that aggregated number then appear on Google?
Yeah. So what it doesn't do is so it's important that I clarify that, actually. So thank you for pointing me in that direction. What it doesn't do is show an increased number of reviews in your Google business profile. So it won't show the increased number in your business profile. What it shows is underneath the organic search results.
Mm-hmm.
When we're showing the combined number in those organic search results, we're also displaying gold stars in that section as well. And the gold stars are really impactful in helping drive more people towards our clients' websites. On average, we're looking at around a 90% increase in clicks from Google for people that have stars in the organic search results. In some cases, we see an increase of 200%. We've seen an increase, albeit not that often, but we do see increases of around 1,000% increase in clicks. And the minimum that we see from our clients is around 20 or 30%. So what we're doing is absolutely driving more people towards our clients' websites.
Okay. And so, sorry, you mentioned a gold star there, Chris. For those who aren't familiar with the terminology, what does a gold star signify? What do you have to do in order to be awarded a gold star?
So the gold star is actually comes from the code that we give to our clients that sits on their website. It's Google approved code. So there's only maybe one or two other businesses that do this, but they're quite a bit more expensive than ourselves. The gold star literally comes from the piece of code that we give to our clients that is then pulled through to Google when Google is scanning through web pages and looking for changes that have been made. It picks up the code and then pulls through the information that's on your website, including the sort of 5 gold stars that then sits underneath your search results in Google search.
Good. Okay. And so you said that there are dozens of platforms out there being used at the moment. Are there? So obviously you aggregate those reviews. Are there any platforms that you can't bring into your sort of aggregation tool? Is there a risk of anybody being left out?
None that we've ever sort of come across. No. If the review platforms are in the public domain, then we can include them within the numbers. There are 2 companies whose who legally we're not able to pull the actual review through and display the review and their logo on our website or on our clients' websites. But what we can do is include the actual review the review score and the actual review towards the numbers that that client has. So if somebody has left a Trustpilot review, that's one of the 2 companies, we can't pull that through onto the website of our customer, but the number and the actual score can actually would add to the aggregated reviews of that customer.
Right. Okay. And I just, out of curiosity, do you have to have an agreement? Does your business have an agreement with the other platforms, or do you literally, because it's in the public domain, have a bot, for want of a better word, that goes and just finds this stuff and brings it back?
Yeah, so it's I guess it kind of is a bot in a way. Essentially, all of our excuse me, all of our clients will have their own customer dashboard.
Hmm.
And what we do is we connect up review sources, whether that's with a login or whether that is with using the URL for that review platform that we basically attach to our customer dashboard. The piece of code that I referenced previously that sits on our customer website talks to the dashboard to bring through all of the information onto the website. And then it's that code that also then talks to Google to say, please display the numbers and please display the stars.
Right. Okay. Um, and in the as they would say on the BBC, other aggregator review sites are available. But what is it that makes your particular uh, service different to other aggregator sites that exist out there in the market?
So I'm not actually sure that there are any other aggregator sites. So I don't want to go against the BBC
Okay.
rule message there. There is nobody that does everything that we do in the same
Okay.
way that we do it. So there are companies that can help you get stars in your search results, but you're paying a significant amount of money for that type of service. I don't believe there is anybody else out there that pulls reviews from every source to be able to then display that overall number. I think it's important to sort of reference anybody that might be watching this recording after the fact. You won't have ever heard of Trustist, or it's very unlikely that you've heard of Trustist. That's exactly how we like it. We don't shout about our own brand and put our branding absolutely everywhere. We want people to know about our clients, not to be landing on our website. So everything that we're doing is designed around driving more traffic towards our clients' websites, and I think that's a really important sort of USP, if you like. It's not about us. We don't want our clients' customers landing on our website to read our clients' reviews. We want to keep them on our clients' websites because that's what's helping to increase SEO. That's what's helping to boost the amount of time people are spending on a web page and the number of clicks, which is ultimately how Google then decides where it's going to rank a business. So we help drive more traffic to our clients' websites. We help boost their position in the search ratings. And we sit back and let everything happen, and importantly, our clients can kind of sit back and let everything happen. All they need to do is collect reviews. Our product is incredibly low maintenance. There's no need to copy and paste. Once everything's set up, everything is done for you.
Yeah. And I suppose actually, I mean, you made me think about this in a slightly different way with what you've just said. And I'm summarizing what you've just said, but actually one of the key benefits to you to people who use you to aggregate reviews is not merely the fact that all of the reviews are available in one place, but it's the impact that it has on their website of having them all in one place on their site.
Absolutely. Everything links in really, really well. So something that I've not mentioned, it is an important factor, and lots of our clients really like it. Is the way that we make life easier for our clients to be able to collect reviews. Use a QR code method. So each of our clients has a QR code. They ask their customer to scan that QR code, and that takes them through to a screen on their phone. there's a link, a URL link that you could send if people would rather use an email. But basically, by clicking the link or scanning the QR code, it takes the customer through to a page where they can see all of your chosen review sources, and then they choose which one that they want to use to leave that review. You can also edit that wording that says, please leave me a Google review if you want to, but that's obviously entirely up to you and where you want to be collecting reviews. The review is pulled through automatically into the website, almost like a live feed. So you don't need to copy and paste. That increases the number of reviews and the average score that you have. That in turn pulls through to Google, which is then showing the stars, which is helping you create more traffic to your website. Everything just links in really, really nicely. And we have 15,000 clients who absolutely love what we do. We have, sorry. We have a money back guarantee that shows if we don't get an increase in clicks from Google, impressions, star rating, or click-through rate from Google, then we give our clients their money back. And in 10 years, we've never had to do that because we do exactly what it says on the tin, essentially.
Right, that's very impressive, Chris. Okay. So thinking about obviously maximizing the reviews, are all reviews worth the same amount from a sort of an SEO or a Google perspective? Are there particular reviews or sources of reviews that are better than others?
Yes, I mean, if you're not working with Trustist, then not as much. So if you're collecting a TripAdvisor review or a Checker Trade review, if if those accounts give you a link back to your own website, then yes, it can help. But by working with Trustist and having the review aggregation tool and the Google approved code displaying the stars in the search results, you can collect a review from anywhere and it will have almost the same impact.
Yeah.
If you're collecting Google reviews, so we're not in any way affiliated to Google, it's important to mention that. But if you're collecting Google reviews, Google loves if you're collecting Google reviews, it's going to also help boost your Google business profile. Google, I've mentioned, are king when it comes to search engines. So it's important, certainly in our eyes, that you are collecting a good number of Google reviews. But if I think it's around a third of the population have a Google account or a YouTube account. So the other 2/3 of the population, they're unlikely to create an account in order to leave you a review. So by giving them other options and not being quite as focused on only collecting Google reviews, it will still help your profile because of the stars in the search results.
Yeah. Okay, that's an interesting number there, Chris, because being in business, I think I have a Google account. I automatically assume that pretty well everybody has a Google account, that they're sort of omnipresent. But actually, hearing that 2/3 of people don't have Google accounts, that doesn't mean that they don't use Google, but I presume that means that Google doesn't know who they are or what they do when they go onto Google.
Yeah, so I think again, anybody that's watching this recording back would probably sort of attest to the fact that at some point they've asked their customer to leave a review. They've asked 3 or 4 times, and they keep on saying yes, they will do it, and they don't end up getting that review, and they know they've provided a brilliant service.
Yeah.
I would suggest that the person has gone to leave a Google review. Google don't make it really, really easy. Like, so I was presenting at a Growth Club event down in Cheltenham with Billy Smith before Christmas, and I scanned the QR code that came up on the screen to leave Billy a review for that Growth Club. And I had to do, so I have a Google account. I had to do two-step verification to sort of confirm who I was, who I say I am. I then needed to log in to my Google account, and I couldn't remember my password, and the whole thing was quite clunky. So I put my phone back in my pocket, and I said, I'll go back to doing that later. And I'm embarrassed to say I never did.
Yeah.
But life,
But like so many clients, yeah, and that's a really interesting perspective that actually, if somebody has found a business through Checkatrade or TripAdvisor or whoever it is, because they've been searching for, a plumber in their area, or a restaurant in a particular locality. Your point there is incredibly important, that actually they might be using TripAdvisor or Checkatrade. They're already logged into it. They may have an account there, and it actually is much simpler for them to leave the review on that site than it is to try and then go and find it on Google.
yeah, absolutely. In the QR codes that we give to our clients, it does mention underneath the Google account that you will need to either create an account or log into an account to be able to leave the review. Depending on which other platforms you're using, we would recommend having three. You don't want to sort of throw too much information or give too much choice to people. But with the Trustist reviews, so we have our own reviews collection as well. There's no need to create an account or to log into an account, which makes life just so much easier, because you can just free type your review, and that still pulls through to your website, and it still pulls through to the aggregated numbers that we're displaying within the Google search results.
Yeah.
There's actually an amazing case study from one of our bigger clients. I'm sure that everybody's heard of Timpson, key cutters, cobblers. They seem to be in pretty much every supermarket you ever go into. So they have 2,200 stores across the UK. In 8 years prior to working with us, they'd collected around 14,000 reviews, and they had an average score of 3.9. About 9,500 of those 14,500 were Google reviews. In less than half the time, we helped them jump from 14,500 to over 100,000 reviews. Their average score jumped from 3.9 to 4.6. 70% of those reviews were Trustist reviews, because we make life so much easier. But in that same time period, so 8 years, they collected 9,500 Google reviews. In the subsequent 4 years, they collected 27,000 Google reviews. Because we make life easier for people to be able to leave reviews, they collected a huge number more Google reviews in half the time.
Right, that's fascinating. And are there particular types of reviews that people should prioritize?
I would absolutely say Google. If you can get a Google review, then that's the best type of review that you can collect. If not, then it really is dependent on where the majority of your trade comes from. But I would be very surprised if 90% of the business that people generate that isn't from sort of word of mouth, if it's being found from a search engine, it's being found from Google, and the chances are people are finding you on Google, and then they are confirming or verifying their decision to use your business by reading your reviews on other platforms. So yeah. I would absolutely say Google initially to help get you up the rankings.
Yeah. Okay. We talked a lot about reviews, and obviously that's that's primarily what you're concerned with. But what else can a company do to boost their online reputation other than simply collecting reviews?
Okay, so I've mentioned Google a couple of times. Your Google business profile is really, really important. Again, it's one of the first things that a business will see when a customer will see when they come across your business, whether that's by discovery searches or a direct search if they know the name of your business. So it's really, really important that all of the information on your Google business profile is up to date. Contact details, opening hours. There's nothing more frustrating. I've done it. I'm sure you've done it, Justin. You've gone to contact a company based on the number you found on their Google business profile. Nobody answers. It says that they're open till 8 p.m. and nobody answers, and you call them again and again and again. You end up getting frustrated and finding their competitors and going and calling them. Or even worse, the telephone number keeps on saying it's out of it's not in service, or it's disconnected, or whatever else it might be. We see some real horror stories of businesses not keeping those sort of sections updated. And if you haven't got a contact number that's working or in service, then how are you wanting your prospective customers to get hold of you? So that, I think, is really important. Something else that you can do with your Google business profile is to use the actual company name section at the top to help drive more traffic to your website by appearing in more search terms. So I use Action Coach as an example. So I can't imagine, unless people already know of Action Coach, I can't imagine many Action Coach clients woke up one morning and thought, I need an Action Coach to help me grow my business.
Yeah.
What they were probably searching for was business coach or business coaching, or maybe employment coach or life coach or something along those lines. So there's a really clever piece of software called Google Trends. And Google Trends allows you to compare multiple search terms against one another based on their popularity according to Google. So what I would recommend any business owner does is has a play around with that, with 1 or 2 word search terms, compare them against one another, and think of the terms that you think people might be searching for when they're trying to find your business. So are they looking for business coach or business coaching? Compare the 2, or compare the 4 or the 5 words that you come up with, and have a look and see which is the most popular according to Google. And then use those words or that word within your business name in your Google business profile, because then when people are searching for you, you're appearing in more of their search results. And that's a really quick and easy win that people can do today. It's a completely free service. And just while I'm sort of talking about the business profile, it's all completely editable from your mobile phone. So if you have the Google Maps app on your phone, if you open that, you'll have the search bar at the top, and then just to the side, you'll have a circle with your initial. If you click that, you can then see manage business profiles. And from there, you can manage your whole Google business profile. It's very, very quick and easy to do.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that particular bit of advice. I'm going to be looking at my Google business time later today to make sure I'm I'm making full advantage of it. Great. Right, I'm conscious that we're coming to the end of the half hour. One final question for you, which is a little bit cheeky, but how much does something like this cost?
always a big moment when it comes to the price. So typically for our most popular package, which is our Pro package, which basically everything that I've mentioned is all covered within. It should be £129 plus VAT per month. That's based on a 12-month contract. For any Action Coach referral, anybody that comes to us as an Action Coach client, because of the relationship that we have, we do £99 plus VAT, again based on a 12-month contract. But you've got the sort of the confidence, if you like, that you have the money back guarantee. If we are not able to help you increase your traffic, then we give you your money back, no questions asked. I'm uber confident that we will be able to achieve results for every business. So it kind of eliminates the risk of paying £99 plus VAT per month, because you have that guarantee.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's really useful to know, Chris. And I think it puts it into perspective, because I think a lot of people, when they're thinking about the profile of their website, they immediately think of SEO, and that's the default solution, without necessarily understanding that working on their reviews can also have an impact on the visibility of their site online.
We work in conjunction with hundreds of SEO companies. If a business is watching, a business owner is watching this recording and thinking, oh, I've got SEO, I don't need to worry about that. We are endorsed by so many SEO companies, because what we do really supports the work of the SEO company. It helps to, I mean, the SEO company is trying to drive more traffic to the website, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we are doing, just in a slightly different way to what they're doing. So it really does help.
Okay, that's great to know. We've reached the half hour. So thank you very much indeed, Chris, for coming along and talking to me today. I've certainly learned a number of things today that I hadn't realized before. And I will be having a look at how I collect reviews, where they appear, and indeed my Google business profile. But thank you for coming on board, and look forward to seeing you again, maybe at another Action Coach event in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, great. Thanks, Justin.
Okay, thank you, Chris.